Hello guys! Welcome back to my channel. I am Lady Sarcy. Walang personalan, boring lang. In today's video, I will be sharing with you some of the major differences I personally noticed between Filipino and American culture. So, here are some of the major cultural differences between US and Filipino culture. Number one, respect for elders. Guys, here in the Philippines, paying respect to older people is a tradition passed from generation to generation. Even older sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles are respected and obeyed. Actually, any person older than you is to be spoken to respectfully, which is shocking for most Americans. One example about our culture of giving respect to our elders is pagmamano. No other cultures in Asia, in Europe, or even in America perform such a gesture of giving a sign of respect by using pagmamano. Pagmamano is similar to hand kissing. It's performed by a person giving the greeting by bowing down toward the person or the elder or taking his hand or her hand and pressing it on the forehead. This is usually performed with the right hand and the person may ask, "Mano po?" Typically, someone may ask for mano or the honor gesture with an older relative upon entry into their home or upon seeing them. Next is the extended family living together. In the Philippines, families are not so independent like in the US. We take care of one another and still feel tied to our adult family members. In fact, many Filipinos work abroad and send back money to support extended family. Family ties are much closer in the Philippines. It is very common setup that even married children still live with their parents together with the grandchildren. Unlike in America, that some children can't wait to leave their parents' house once they turn 18. And in the States, almost everybody works, husband and wife and even teenagers. In the Philippines, there are many adults who do not work. There is seldom a house with no one at home. And older people retire much earlier in the Philippines. And the next generation takes care of them. Somebody asked me before, "Will you ask your daughter to buy you something?" I said, "Of course." And he said, "Maybe you do not understand the question, like as if I'm dumb." He said, "I will ask you again. Will you ask your daughter to buy you something?" And I said, "Since you repeat the question, my answer now is yes, all caps." I can hear the disbelief in his voice. Some think we are abusing our kids, but little did they know we Filipinos seem to have an automatic nonverbal parent-children give-and-take relationship. Filipino parents go extra mile in supporting their kids from childhood to adulthood and from sending them to the best school that mostly of them can barely afford. Even when the child decides to get married, parents gladly contribute to the expenses. So I think it is only fair that the children will help their parents in return once they become financially stable. A lot may disagree, but hey, this is our culture. We respect yours, so respect ours. And I'm not saying that you have to give all your hard-earned money. Another one. Americans are very busy and have a fast-paced agenda. Even children have a busy schedule with sports and lessons of various kinds, whereas the Philippines is a much slower pace for many people. Even in the malls or any supermarket, the Filipinos walk so slow. Everything seems to move slowly in the Philippines, including cashiers or any business transaction. The business and government system and processes are not streamlined nor seem to be concerned with the time, the Filipino time. Maybe this is the reason why Filipinos are very good at waiting patiently, sometimes for hours, because Filipino time is always an hour or 2 hours delayed. Next, and this is my favorite, Filipino are known for being hospitable. Our readiness to invite others to come and eat at our table no matter how simple we have. And if you walk by anyone, even strangers who are eating, they will usually invite you to eat with them. Filipino hospitality is the best thing we have. We share not because we have a lot, but because we know how it feels to have nothing. Every day is like survival of the fittest here. Now, it's not that Americans are not sharing, but there is such a difference in the culture. Americans are also independent. Being independent and being responsible for yourself is really stressed in America. It is in the culture. Americans often believe in the tough love principle, which means not helping someone, even a family members, so that they will learn to be responsible. Americans raise their children from a young age to be responsible and independent. Not so in the Philippines. Another one. Rules are often not followed in the Philippines. Nothing is effective in enforcing laws consistently, so many do not follow them anyway. And because many do not follow, our government doesn't really enforce it strictly. Jaywalking, for instance. Even there's already a huge signages or warning, there are many others doing it. There is a tolerance and often bending of the rules in all areas of life in the Philippines. While in America, the laws are strictly and consistently enforced, so this affects the culture in many other areas, in which people know and expect rules to be followed. In America, you would automatically know you are expected to get in line and wait your turn and be fair. In the Philippines, it is common for people to not have a line or cut in front of the line and nothing is said by anyone, even if it bothers them. They are still very tolerant to let it go. So frustrating. Next, in the Philippines, the culture is very subtle, gracious, polite, pleasant, and non-confrontational. If anyone would speak a small hint of something negative about someone or something, it would speak volumes and would be heard loudly. Americans would generally miss the hint. In America, people speak very directly and confrontational and complain a lot, which is perceived by many Asian cultures to often be rude. Also, the culture in the Philippines is mostly very light-hearted and upbeat. You will see people smiling everywhere and being very friendly. We may have big problems or hardships, but still appear to be very happy. It's part of the culture. We find humor in every situation, which in return perceived by some serious Americans as being immature or not taking life seriously. Filipinos in general are very resilient, and I guess that's the reason why we keep winning in life. Next, personal boundaries and privacy are very different. Filipino strangers will ask you, where are you going? Where's your husband? When are you getting married? Why are you single? The reason why I don't show up to family reunions. And the annoying question always is, when are you going to have a baby? We know it's usually more of curiosity, which Americans would consider them as being nosy. But it's normal conversation here. But physical boundaries are strong in America. People keep their distance and very seldom bump or brush against someone. Americans are trained as a child to be considerate of others about such things. Filipinos will do some funny things and not think anything about it. Like a group will get off an escalator and after one step, stand there talking and they are blocking others behind them. The spatial boundaries are just different. Filipinos like to be closer together, while Americans like to have space. Also, money and bodily function are not polite to talk about in America. But here it is normal conversation. Some even specifically mention whether they need to pee or poop. Another thing, Filipinos are emotional people and go more by their feelings than Americans. I attribute this as probably stemming from the 300 years of Spanish rule because other Asian countries don't have this latent temperament. Sometimes Filipinos can be childish with jealousy and sulking or having hurt feelings over a small thing or holding grudge. Guilty, Your Honor. Some of us are extremely sensitive or into much drama, while Americans normally make decisions much more by analytical logic, which Filipinos misinterpreted as being insensitive, cold, and distant. Okay, next. Filipinos are festive people and love to celebrate anything. Very true. Every month we have festival. Sinulog Festival, Mascaro Festival, Ati-Atihan Festival, Panagbenga Festival. Too many to mention actually. And every celebration always comes with food. Sometimes outdoor videoke and sometimes fireworks. Filipino love to sing and dance. Everything from cha-cha to ballroom dance to hip-hop, and many are very good at it. So there are many celebrations, and sometimes the neighborhood is noisy and even through the night, which they have no sense of boundaries about. But nobody complains. Again, very tolerant. Americans, on the other hand, would call the police to report disturbing the peace. Filipinos are not shy to perform. In fact, I think most love it. An American friend keep telling me, you can't sing. I know you're watching. And I'm like, excuse me. So what if I can't sing? As long as I love singing, that's fine. Children are trained to perform in school from a young age, as there are many programs with dancing and singing and also speech giving training and contests, starting in kindergarten level. Americans are weak in this area and are often shy to perform. Only an outgoing, talented American would be comfortable performing publicly because they believe it's either you have it or you don't. And they will tell you, if you can't sing good, stop singing. Like, hello, listen at your own risk. Okay, next. Filipinos are often ordering the same t-shirt that the whole group will wear just for a friend group outing, for the day to a special place, or for a dance performance at an event or school, or a team doing a medical mission. Which I don't think Americans, or not just Americans, some other nationalities can easily comprehend. Filipinos wear same type of shirt to be identified that we belong in that group or we celebrate as a group, especially during parade. We also wear uniforms in places of employment such as teachers, bank tellers, supermarket employees, government workers. While, of course, Americans prefer the independent look. Well, all of this might not be true for everyone or every place. These are just some general main cultural differences that I personally noticed during my visit in the United States. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Keep safe, everyone. I love you.